Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time and a happy Monday is wished to all. Dawn U. Leonard, the author of Turn of Events, One Event, Two Lives, is here today to discuss her new work. Dawn Leonard is a retired career public servant, health and safety practitioner, an author, community activist, youth mentor, and the founder of the BVI Cancer Society. She's a wife, a mother of 3 children, and a grandmother, and she lives where people vacation in the picturesque British Virgin Islands. She is by far one of our leading professionals here in the Virgin Islands, and I'm so honored to be having her in the studio to speak about her new book. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
The wait is over! CCT Fire is here! Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire, bring it home and upgrade today.
Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, I am joined by author Dawn U. Leonard. Miss Leonard, welcome back to our studios. First of all, thank you for your time and most importantly, congratulations.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
It is likewise a pleasure. Now, as I mentioned, a turn of events. You wear a lot of hats throughout our community, both personally and professionally. A mother, a wife, a grandmother, a community activist, founder of the BVI Cancer Society, and yet again, you are adding author to that title. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is not your first piece of work, am I correct?
No, it's not.
Right.
Actually, I did publish something that's called the Marriage Spa, a marriage enrichment tool that my husband and I worked on, but it was published under his business name. So you won't find my name connected to that, but that's something that we're working on revamping and rebranding soon.
All right, well, what your name is connected to is a Turn of Events, One Event, Two Lives. This is a psychological fiction. Yeah. First of all, where did the concept and the story, the narrative come from?
Well, that's a little backstory. There's a backstory to that. One morning, I got up and I said to my husband, I said, Lynn, I have an idea for a book. And I was, what they would say, pregnant with ideas. And the story was just full in my mind, Ron. It was, I had to get it out. So he was like, well, write the book. So I sat in our office at home and I started writing. And I said to him, I'm going to write 800 words every night. And to be honest, I did write the book in short order. I just put it down because after a little while, I was like, what are you doing? You know, I never really imagined myself being an author. I was always intrigued by other authors, and especially local authors. But so I did that. I did just that. I wrote 800 words for about 2 weeks. And before I knew it, I had over 40,000 words, I think. And I was happy with it, but then I just put it down like I said.
Okay, wonderful. I want to talk a little bit more about the process because you said you did write the book. You were disciplined, of course, enough to stick to your mandate of how many words, but then you put it down. Tell us about the process in really picking this piece of work back up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to share it with the world.
Well, I thought it was a good story, and the only process I had was to write. So, like I said, I said I would write 800 words, and that's what every night, and that's what I did. I didn't look up how to write a book, any 12-step process or anything like that. I just started writing, and then I started sharing the idea or the plot of the book with very close family and friends, and they loved it. And so every now and then, after I had put it down, like I'm saying, referring to it as, my husband would say, so Dawn, what are you doing with the book? You know, when are you going to finish it? And I actually had gotten stalled at one point because I had I just wrote. I did go back afterwards and try to bring some structure to it. So I had chapters that I had written in, names of chapters. And I needed that for guidance at that time because after you reach 40,000 words, you could get lost in a story.
I'm sure.
So I had to go back and, like how they teach you in college to write an outline?
Of course.
So that would have been the wise thing to do. Is just I didn't do it because I just wanted to get the thoughts out of my head and get it written down, and that's what I did. And then, like I said, I got stuck on a chapter that I had this lofty idea of what I wanted this chapter to look like, and I just couldn't figure out how to get it done. Then years later, actually, I wrote it. Then I lost it. I looked high and low on my computer for it, and Ron, I could not find it.
Wow.
So then I'm fast forwarding now. In 2020, I think it was July, I reached out to an author an editor. And I was telling her about that part that I needed to just finish the book, and she's like, "You don't need it." So I was like, "Okay." So I wrote that part that I was pondering about, and I wrote it very simply. It was a wedding,
Okay.
and I was comfortable with it after I did it that way. So that was 2020. 2021, I did some more. I think in 2021, I wrote the ending of the book because I wasn't sure how to end it. And I wrote the ending in 2021. And then I had to do a whole bunch of edits because I had written the book run and I did not look back to read it over, to edit it or
Understood.
anything. And so, that was my rough draft. And, so now we're
Amazing.
here.
And now we are here, and of course, your official launch is going to be coming up. Tell us about the date, location, and time of the official launch.
So yes, the date is the 24th, Thursday, November 24th, and the vision I have for the launch. Well, let me go back just a little bit. While I was writing the book, I always saw it as a movie. So when I thought about how I would launch it, and this has been back since 2017, I came up with this plan on how I would launch the book because I actually thought in 2017 I could wrap it up, and then that didn't happen, obviously. And the same time I was working on my dissertation, and obviously Irma had different ideas of how our lives would go.
Yes.
And so I basically did not do anything from 2017 until 2019, I did something briefly, and then 2017. So I always saw it as a movie. And so I wanted to launch it in that light. So it's going to be a red carpet affair. I encourage people to come, dressed as they would want to on a red carpet. There's going to be lights and opportunities for photo. But the main thing is, Ron, is I'm having parts of the book dramatized by
Beautiful.
local actors and a local producer. And so I'm really excited about that. It's not going to be your usual sit down and just listen kind of launch. It's going to be very interactive and engaging and exciting.
Amazing. And
So it's going to be at the auditorium at the college. I don't think I said
beautiful. So it's at the H.L. Athley Stout Community College
Yes.
on the 24th, of course. And what time does that event begin?
It's we're gonna start at 6:30. That's the deal. Everyone can have their red carpet walk. We're gonna have refreshments, and like I said, a lot of opportunities for the ops.
Amazing. You mentioned something, Miss Leonard, that I found very profound, and I hope it is okay for me to ask you this very personal question. You mentioned we never know what turn or what events will take place in our life. This year alone, you have been, like many of us, affected by grief. I want to ask you, has the loss of loved ones affected your launch? Has it affected your ability to finish your piece of work? Has it inspired you in any way? What has that process of grief done for you in regards to turn of events?
Wow. Ron, you're putting me on the spot. So, yes, my brother passed earlier this year. And I must say, if I'm going to be honest, I was inspired by his life to work on finishing my book. I know he would have been so excited because Derek had so many ideas, so many things that he wanted to achieve. And I said, you know, this is not happening next year, it's happening now. So I had to do a lot of work. I allowed myself some time from the time he passed, you know, to try to collect myself before I went at it again. But I said, you know, I wanted to do this because if he was here, he would have been so excited for me. And I think just one of the lessons that I learned from him is that go after the things that you want to and don't leave them, you know, to chance. And so he was some of my inspiration for wrapping it up this year.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your honesty in this regard. Viewers, as I mentioned, Turn of Events, One Event, Two Lives. It is a psychological fiction by the Virgin Islander herself, our very own Dawn Leonard, who is really putting into perspective and sharing her, not her first piece of work, but a very intriguing piece of work that I cannot wait to experience myself. I'm honored to have a copy here for you, and I encourage you all to not only come out to the launch on November 24th, of course, the red carpet event, but also to get this piece of work. Dawn, how can persons in the Virgin Islands and worldwide who want to get a copy, how can they get a copy?
Well, I encourage everyone to come to the launch. We will be selling tickets. They will go on sale sometime this week. And once you purchase a ticket, you get the whole experience. You get an autographed copy of my book as well, but it's also on Amazon. So if you type in my name or the name of the book, Dawn Leonard, Turn of Events, you'll see it. It's on Amazon as well.
Wonderful. Well, as I mentioned, I want to congratulate you once again on
Thank you.
Sharing your work with us, and we look forward to much more things. Most importantly, I look forward to being at the launch myself and celebrating this moment with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ron, for having me.
You're most welcome. Viewers, that's all the time we have. Turn of Events, make sure you grab your copy. See you later. Bye-bye.